You know, we love the look of a beautiful brick-laid tile, but these tile patterns may be even better than the classic subway. My next guest says there are many ways to keep your tile timeless while also adding a little more interest. Designer Joseph Ward joins me to share 5 new tile options to fall in love with. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I like you bringing us we just talked about novelty. You're bringing us some novelty when it comes to tile. I mean, do you think people just people love the subway look?
Yeah.
Do they just do that because they don't know what else to do, or
Potentially,
what do you think?
like maybe their home is classic or traditional, and so that traditional look is great. But a lot of homes are transitional, where they're not trying to be really classic, or they're very modern, and that's where you're like, oh, I could really mix it up with some different look.
Yeah, a different look, and you're bringing that to us, not saying buy different tile.
No.
It even is just in the way we lay the tile.
Yeah, the pattern. Yeah.
That's all it boils down to. Okay, so first you're going to tell us about the basket weave. What do you like about this?
Yeah, the basket weave, that actually could be a traditional one potentially, because you see that in floors oftentimes, you know, like old parquet floors and stuff like that. So I like that one. It could obviously be squared, or it could be at 45, and it could be, so I like that one because it can be either modern or classic in my opinion, and same with the herringbone.
Okay, well, I really like this pink tile.
I know, that
We're
cool?
gonna do a different color. Yeah, I like that look. It's very structural, almost like modern, like you said, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, so the herringbone, you say there's different types. First is the single herringbone.
Yeah, where it's just like one. I use my fingers here, my hands, like it's one tile next to one tile. Or you can do double or triple even, you know, where it's kind of like I'm going to use 2 tiles and alternate them. So.
What do you like about this? Is this, what genre or style would you say this falls into?
I did this one in like a more of a modern French country type vibe. So it can be traditional look, again, herringbone, because you'll see that on the floors a lot in old homes. And so to see that in the tile would be kind of a modern expression of a classic look.
And I'm guessing these are your looks. I mean, the colored tile still just speaks to me. And I love when you put it in these different patterns.
I do too. I like
seems
colors.
Modern.
Yeah, I do like colors. But, you know, people are hesitant sometimes to do this because you're like, well, when I'm sick of it or it's no longer trendy. But I try to avoid trends, to be honest with you, and just do stuff that creates this experience for the client. Does that make sense? Like I'm going for this feeling. Well, then that color is going to do it all the time.
And don't people generally have a color they love, and they're going to love it for a long time? It's not like we're not 5. We don't have a different favorite color every year.
You would hope not. But yeah, that's exactly the idea.
Okay, so I'm supposed to ask you this question. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Tell me about a running bond. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so running bond is like when they're straight up and just all lined up. So they're not staggered. So the traditional look is they're running horizontally and they're staggered, right? But a running
okay, so
bond,
we're looking at, this is traditional, staggered, and then you're talking about
where they're all lined up, all the grout lines and everything. They're not alternating or zigzagging up. All the lines come straight down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that could be, the tiles could be running horizontally and you're stacking that way, which is more contemporary, or it could be vertically.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of style is this generally? It looks a little more modern, but I don't know if that's just the color.
No, it could again go both ways, because the one we're looking at now actually kind of reminds me of a shingle. You know, so it could be a classic look, like some Cape Cod type vibe or whatever, more of a traditional thing. So that I like that one as well.
Can you do that with any size tile? Okay, so rectangle, square, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and these subway tiles, like you said, typically they're like a 3x6, but sometimes they might be a 6x12. Maybe they're really long, and so it does vary, but you can do it with all sizes.
Can I just ask, this is not, I hope I don't stun you with this question, but what is like, I know you don't do trends, but we saw that glass tile be so popular for a long time.
Yeah.
Are we still seeing that? Are we going back to traditional stone? What are you seeing?
Yeah, I haven't seen the glass tile around a lot, but you're totally right. It was a trend. And so obviously if you used it, you can kind of peg when it was.
Okay.
But there could be a great application for it, but I'm just thinking generally people just putting it up on their backsplashes in their kitchen or their bathroom it was quite trendy.
I know you totally go by the client and what their style is, what they're looking for, but do you have a favorite tile that you like to see in general?
I do love the classic subway tile and a traditional lay, you know, kind of the brick stack. I love that look. Again, for a certain vibe. So sometimes they'll do like kitchens, which are more glamorous, you know, and it might be more, not tile, but stone with a lot of veining and stuff, and they'll have a butler's pantry. And I love to put in a butler's pantry where it's a little more hard it's like working harder. Does that make sense? Kind of reminds you of like a turn of the century or 1920s, like butler's pantry or
true
something.
butler's pantry.
Yeah, so I really like it there. It sometimes can go more industrial type vibe, which again, I like, or you could be, or in a bathroom, I like it as well, as like a wainscot. So like the traditional tile, but with the same color grout as the tile.
Okay, so finally, just quickly, you kind of showed us about the running bond, and then you said the difference would be a stacked bond. So that's when we are alternating.
Yes, alternating. Yeah. So the grout lines aren't all lined up either vertically or horizontally, and they're staggered.
Okay, well, these just give us some good options. Again, that black looks very modern to me, so it's just totally dependent on your style and whatever tile you use. Thanks for giving us some different options.
Yeah.
You always show us these new possibilities, so if someone wants to hand it over to you, a professional, where do they get in touch?
Homewarddesign.com or Homeward Design on Instagram.
All right, thanks so much.
Yeah.